Hello and welcome to my review of the Ork Stormboyz. This box set will set you back £20 for 5 plastic miniatures. It is a multi-part kit, although you don't get that many differences in terms of the melee weapons and the pistols, but you do get plenty of heads, different arms, different tips for the jetpacks or rocket packs that they've got strapped to them. You even get an extra Gretchen as well. If you bought 2 sets of them, there are enough to make them, you know, different. The only downside with models that incorporate a little bit of a scenic base is the legs at least will look very similar, but the torsos, you can mix and match them. Fantastic. They're a joy to build. It's so refreshing to have a unit, a box set where you can pick the arms and change the arms in the directions you like, change the heads. I mean, other than, you know, moving the hips and the torsos, everything else is very customizable, and that's one of the great things about the older kits. Okay, what we'll do first is we'll look at the detail of these miniatures. I'll go through the spare parts. We're going to compare them to the previous kit. Now, the previous kit, well, these guys were in fine cast before this plastic set, but then before that, they were actually available in a hybrid kit of plastic and metal. The only metal parts for them were just the rockets themselves, and yes, I do have those models from about 20 years ago or so. So we'll compare them to those. We'll do the rest of the size comparisons, and then we'll go through all of their rules. You weren't expecting a knob to be on the screen already. Well, it's here. I'll just show you it a bit closer. So this is the one I've gone for. I think this is the knob, a boss knob. It's got this stabber stick. It's got an underslung slugger. I've changed the rocket pad to this one with the little Gretchen, you know, holding on for dear life. He's got this loin armor thing, some rockets on his legs. He's basically got a few extra bits that the others don't have. I wasn't sure on the head though. You get a number of heads, and this one just seemed to work for the boss knob. But yeah, plenty of detail, a bit of comedy value. Yeah, that's the boss knob. Then we've got these over here. We've got this one, which is, you know, sort of aiming down this slugger. Got the holding the chopper near the tip near the top of the shaft, and then you've got the rocket with a couple more rockets. This has got like orc teeth on, a bit like a shark. I've glued some stick bombs on the back. It's got a nice tail fin. This one here, I've kind of matched the spiky chopper. He's just bolted in sharp bits of metal onto the chopper. He's also got a spiky helmet with some horns and a spiky intake for the jet thruster, for the jet engine, and yeah, he's got quite a few spiky parts all around. Anyway, that's that one. And then the other two, this guy is many rockets, lots of rockets all strapped together. Even more I've put on the top, with a very small kind of exhaust there, but I've given him a chainsaw type chopper, put another chopper on the back with a stick bomb, and given him a slugger with a belt fed ammunition, and he's got an awesome looking pose, and he's screaming as he charges, with the pose that I've given him. And then finally this one has got a nice sleek intake there for this rocket, and again holding the axe at the top of the shaft. He's got these goggles. The slugger isn't really aiming at anything. He's got these spikes on his feet. I've given him a stick bomb and a slugger on the back. I've drilled the holes in the little extra rockets that he's got going, and that's about it. It is a shame that you didn't get that many choppers, like swinging them with 2 hands, or holding them a little bit closer down to the end of the chopper. But still, it is what it is. So they're all the Stormboyz, really impressed with them. Let's have a look at these spare parts. They're right here, you get a fair amount. So you've got everything from an alternative torso. You've got these tips to the rockets, quite a few of these. This one has some bones and spikes and things on the tip. You've got different accessories. This has got a load of gauges on there. You get different heads. They all look pretty cool. I like that one with the goggles on. Maybe I should have used that one for one of them. And this one with a scarf wrapped around him, and very poignant, I think, nowadays. Then you've got arms holding stick bombs. I didn't go for any with stick bombs. I like the look of the sluggers and choppers. You've got this head, a bit like a Mega Knob head, fully armoured jaw there. You've got this spare chopper that isn't really connected to anything. You've got this grot, which again I didn't use. I thought that would look a bit odd, but if I did get another pack, I would definitely add him. But you can add one of the rockets on the back and put them on him and have him you know, holding on as like a little grot Stormboy wannabe, holding on and flying with one of them. That's pretty cool. Quite an awesome looking model. Again, you could put that on any of your other Ork models. It'd still look cool. Maybe even on one of the choppers, maybe even on one of the Deathcopters, or even on the Ork fighter bomber or blaster jets. You know, that would be quite cool, hanging off of a wing, like he's accompanying them. I don't know how he managed to get that fast, but still. Anyway, this is quite a cool head, which I didn't use, but this Stormboy holding the stick bomb between his teeth, quite nice. So yeah, they're all the spare parts. Not a huge amount, but you know, there are some, and you can definitely use them in the other Ork kits, even with the heads and the arms. They're all multi-part, so that's a great thing about Orks at the moment, is that you can use them in the other kits that are available. All right then, here are some Orks Stormboyz I made earlier. As you can see, these are really old models. They have, I think, the heads are metal, the rockets are metal, and the torsos are metal. They've got this thing here. These are very old models. Please forgive my painting. I haven't even shaded them or highlighted them or anything like that. They're very basic, but still, I like the look of them. They're on these small bases, so they're not on the 32mm bases that Stormboyz now come on. They're not in any flying poses. It's the same plastic legs and the same plastic arms that you get in the normal Orkboyz set, but it just goes to show where we've come in those years, from these little hybrid kits with the metal rockets and the plastic parts from the other kit, to fully plastic Stormboyz, but still retaining that multi-part, multi-part opportunity. So there you go. I thought I'd show you them next to some old Stormboyz. I don't know why you got 8 in the pack, you just did. But yeah, if you were on the fence about upgrading your 20-year-old Stormboyz and getting these ones, it's a no-brainer, guys. These Stormboyz look amazing. If you have 10 of them, they're going to look even cooler. I just can't wait to see what Games Workshop have in store for new Orks, if and when they release them. So yeah, as you can see, you know, the old Stormboyz are going to look a bit out of place now compared to the new ones with the smaller bases and the much smaller profile, and all the rockets are very similar, whereas these, you've got so much scope to customize them and to change the look and feel of them all. So I just wanted to make a quick comparison with the older models there. If we're going to compare them to other models, I might as well throw my knob into the mix and put it here. That gives you an idea of where they stack up. Similar, very similar. Obviously they're on the same bases, but similar size knob to Stormboyz. They're going to look great with a bunch of knobs. Also, we'll go through the usual models, which, I mean, the Stormboyz were a normal size Orkboy, but if we look at them compared to a Warboss and a Gretchen, that's where they stand up. They are taller than the normal war boss, if you were to get a war boss. So they do have a bit of presence on the field, especially if you've got 10 of them or 20 of them, something like that. But yeah, they definitely show that presence there. And when you compare them to Imperial models, it's the same story. They're taller than a Primaris, taller than a Slimarbo, and of course taller than a Legacy Space Marine. So if you're going up against Primaris, fear not, a unit of 10 of them are going to have much more presence than a unit of 5 or even 10 normal Primaris Intercessors. The Orks will probably get absolutely mowed down by the Intercessors, but still, size-wise, they're definitely more presence on the battlefield. And now you've almost hit the red part of the rocket speed gauge of the review, where I will go through all of their rules. If you haven't already guessed yet, you'll find the Stormboyz in the fast attack section of the Codex. They're actually one of the last options along with Deathcopters. They are a power points cost of a 3 and a points cost of 9 points per model. This unit contains 5 Stormboyz. It can include up to 5 additional Stormboyz for power rating +2, up to 15 additional Stormboyz, power rating +6, or up to 25 additional Stormboyz at power rating of +11. And a boss knob can take the place of 1 Stormboy. Each model is armed with a slugger, chopper, and stick bomb. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You can have 30 Stormboyz in one unit. That's immense. It really is immense. Now, their stat line, are they any good? Well, their movement speed is 12 inches, their weapon skill is 3+, ballistic skill 5+, strength 4, toughness 4, 1 wound, 2 attacks, leadership 6, and a save of 6+. That's all right. They do get 2 attacks. Boss Knob has the same stat line, but has a increased strength of a 5, 2 wounds, 3 attacks, and a better leadership. Yeah, it's worth taking a Boss Knob. So they're sluggers, choppers, and stick bombs. Well, sluggers work as usual. They're range 12 inch, pistol 1, strength 4, AP 0, and a damage of 1. The chopper is a strength of the user, which is 4, AP 0, damage 1, but each time the bearer fights, it can make 1 additional attack with this weapon. That's great. You know, if you've got 30 of them, that's 90 attacks, not to be overlooked, especially with a weapon skill of 3+ and a strength of 4. And then stick bombs work just the same as they always have. So they're a range 6 inch, grenade D6, strength 3, AP 0, damage 1. War gear options, Boss Knob may replace his slugger and chopper with items from the Knob weapons list, which is technically what I've got there, which you could call it a power stabber, I guess. Now, their abilities, here we go, Mob Rule, Daka Daka Daka, Full Throttle. When this unit advances, you can add 6 inches to its move characteristic instead of rolling a dice. But if you do, roll a d6 for each model in this unit at the end of the phase. For each roll of 1, the unit suffers 1 mortal wound. That's pretty tough because, I mean, it depends on how quick you want to get these across the board. For an extra 6 inches, I don't think it's worth suffering, you know, a model to die that has 3 attacks there. I just don't think that's worth the trade-off. You know, maybe if you've got 30, but their saves are 6+ at the end of the day. They're going to get ripped to shreds anyway. At least the Deathcopters, they can turbo boost and it doesn't affect, you know, it doesn't cause any mortal wounds. And then finally, the Stormboyz Strike. During deployment, you can set up this unit flying high in the skies instead of placing it on the battlefield. At the end of any of your movement phases, this unit can plummet onto the battlefield. Set them up anywhere on the battlefield, more than 9 inches away from the enemy models. So again, they can basically deep strike in and deploy them more than 9 inches away, which is very, very useful, especially with a movement speed of 12 inches. You get 30 of them coming down from the skies above. It's going to cause your opponent a bit of an issue. Keywords: Ork, Infantry, Jump Pack, Fly, and Stormboyz. So there you go. That is the Stormboyz. I was pleasantly surprised by their kit. I had a great fun building it, and there's lots of options there. I'd say if you got 2 packs, you'd be sorted, but any more than 2 packs, and you're going to come into difficulty in terms of the look and feel of them. I guess if you've got some Ork boys or you've got loads of Ork spare bits, that might not be an issue. And likewise, just because they're on these bases doesn't mean you have to use them. You can cut the edges of the feet away quite easily and have them put a hard rod up their undercarriage and have them on a you know, flying base. I guess you could cut a hole in there and put it that way, or you could just cut the scenery piece off and replace it with another scenery piece, or cork, or you know, you could cover it in texture paint, whatever. There are ways of covering up that. The only things that are going to be the same really are the torsos and the legs. Everything else is pretty customizable. So this kit lends itself to having multiple versions of the kit. Like I say, I was impressed by the kit, and it was a lot of fun. What do you guys think of the models and the rules though of the Orks Stormboyz? Please do put it in the comments below. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. For Gork and Mork.